In part 3 of Valentine the Traumatized Foster Kitty, you will watch her grow from hiding under the carpet to showing her belly for the first time, all in only a day. In part 2, we left off with Valentine sharing the room with a litter of vetted foster kittens who adored her. Valentine roamed the room freely by this time, as the crate was no longer needed for introductions. We had also come to believe it triggered her trauma. She in turn adored the boys, but unfortunately they graduated from foster and went to the very lounge she came from. Now she needed a new friend. The night after the boys left, she seemed fairly depressed. The next morning, I found a mystery lump in the room rug. I also felt a lump in my throat. Healing from trauma is not linear, and Valentine clearly missed the boys. I also had a problem. I hadn't vacuumed the room in over a week because I didn't want to frighten Valentine. But someone had already beat me to it.
Lawnmowers. I am so stupid. I'm sorry. Sorry, baby.
Between being alone and the mower outside, suddenly, Valentine hiding under the rug made a lot of sense. I picked her up for the first time in over a week and took her to my office. That way, no more lawnmower, and I could clean her room in preparation for friends. You heard right, a cat from her old neighborhood was coming the next day. And though I was worried changing their room would frighten her, I realized it was more made for happy kittens than skittish cats. So I updated it, created hiding spaces with Valentine in mind, and gently carried her yurt back in. Valentine spent the entire day comfortably napping in my office and was quite intrigued at the change. I expected her to hide, but she explored instead, taking up a post in the windowsill, as if to check if the lawnmower was still there. The morning after, I woke her up with a catnip toy, which she quite enjoyed, lounging for the first time since I rescued her over a week ago. Seeing her relaxed was a huge relief, but I couldn't hang around. I had to go and pick up Totoro. Totoro is a sweet 11-month-old boy from the same neighborhood as Valentine. We can't confirm if they're related, but I have my suspicions. My original plan was to rub his scent on this blanket and show Valentine, but Totoro had his own plans, walked right by me, and met Dexter by the door. And Bay. Watching him interact with my own kitties made me conclude that a crate introduction was not needed, so I left the door open. I briefly left the room to grab food because I skipped lunch and dinner, and Totoro had joined Valentine on her favorite spot. Her reaction was so adorably muted. Instead of a big hug, she looked at him like, "Oh, you're finally here," and just seemed so content. By evening, Totoro was definitely feeling a bit anxious, but Valentine kept him company. It was so strange yet heartening to watch her rise to the role of caretaker. They clearly remembered each other. And, I think, having another kitty to take care of distracted Valentine from her own anxiety. Later that night, she was giddier than I had ever seen her, purring for me and rolling in her tree. It was the first time I ever saw her belly, which, by the way, is a trap. No touchy. But we weren't done. The day after, more friends arrived. Cat-friendly skittish kitties were coming in to not only help Valentine heal, but also finish socializing. Valentine received Ophelia and Orion openly, taking up her usual spot in her tree. Like Totoro, Ophelia and Orion are approximately 11 months and need a little polish before they are adopted. Totoro received them too, though retreated when I was there. Like Valentine, he swaps from social to skittish, but we'll work on that, just like we'll work on Valentine and all of her new friends. Thank you all for coming on this journey with me. Valentine's story will continue and will go for however long it takes until she is healed. As all of my cat rescue efforts is volunteer-based, if you'd like to help with food, litter, toys, or more, you can donate to my Ko-fi. Donations are not expected, but are triply appreciated. As for following Valentine's story going forward, stay tuned for more posts about our Little Kitty Breakfast Club, where skittish kitties come to heal.